All right, if you thought the season opener in Australia was wild, you are not prepared for Shanghai. The 2026 Chinese Grand Prix basically took the chaos dial and cranked it all the way to 11. I mean, this race wasn't just one story. It was a bunch of different dramas all colliding at once. And we're going to break it all down.
And it all started with this number, 4. Before the lights even went out, before a single lap was even raced, 4 drivers were already out of the Grand Prix. And not from some big crash, not a strategy mess-up, but just silence. Just try to imagine the shock of that. This wasn't a few backmarkers having issues. No, we are talking about major contenders, creating this graveyard on the grid before the race had even started. The drama began with who wasn't even there to race.
And the reasons for the failures here, well, they tell their own scary story. You had both McLarens, that's the reigning world champion Lando Norris and the guy who won the last race, Oscar Piastri, both of them sidelined by electrical problems. Then Alex Albon's Williams had a hydraulics failure, and Sauber's Gabriel Bortoleto was taken out by, technical gremlins. It's just a brutal illustration of the reality of these new 2026 cars. They're revolutionary, for sure, but man, are they fragile.
But chaos, well, it always creates an opportunity, right? And as the hopes of 4 drivers just vanished on the grid, the stage was perfectly set for one of the most incredible stories we've seen in a long time. The coronation of a 19-year-old kid.
Kimi Antonelli. Remember, Mercedes put him in the seat that a legend, Lewis Hamilton, left behind. The pressure on him was just immense. So, how did he respond? Oh, just by going to Shanghai and becoming the youngest pole sitter in the entire history of Formula One. And then he went out and won the whole race.
And with this win, he joins an incredibly exclusive club. I mean, before Shanghai, only one teenager had ever stood on the top step of an F1 podium. You know who it is, Max Verstappen. And now, there are 2.
And you know what? This was no easy lights to flag victory. He actually lost the lead at the start to a flying Lewis Hamilton. But he didn't crack, he didn't panic, he passed Hamilton on the very next lap, built up a commanding lead, and then, with just 3 laps to go, he locks up, runs off the track, and gives his entire team, and probably all of us, a collective heart attack. But he held it together, he brought it home for a truly historic win.
And after everything, the pressure, the history, that late race scare, this was all that was left. Just the raw, unfiltered emotion of a young man on the radio realizing he's just achieved his dream. What a moment. Just incredible.
But while Antonelli was kind of running away with the win, the absolute best fight on the track was happening right behind him. It was basically a civil war, and it was fought in that iconic Maranello red. Lewis Hamilton versus Charles Leclerc for 2 laps, it was just breathtaking stuff. They swapped positions 3 different times, going side by side into turn 1, wheel to wheel at turn 14. They were using their energy deployment systems like weapons against each other. It was hard, it was tactical, and it was just brilliant racing between teammates. For Lewis Hamilton, who ended up winning that fight for second place, this number means everything. 477 days. That is how long he waited to stand on a podium again, to finally do it, and for the very first time in Ferrari red. That's a monumental moment, even for a career as legendary as his.
And Hamilton's own words, they just confirm what we all saw. This wasn't some bitter rivalry boiling over. It was a duel between 2 absolute gladiators who have immense respect for each other. I mean, this is the kind of racing we all live for.
But the story of Shanghai, it really wasn't just about the podium. So let's zoom out a little bit, because some of the most impressive drives of the entire day happened right in the middle of the pack.
Okay, so these results aren't just good points finishes. They are massive statements. You've got Ollie Behrman, who drove a completely flawless race to P5 for Haas. And get this, the 20-year-old is now sitting 5th in the World Championship standings. Insane. And then there's Pierre Gasly's P6 for Alpine, which is a huge turnaround for a team that was basically dead last in 2025.
And this right here just proves that anyone who thought the new rules were going to create this massive gap between the top teams and everybody else, well, they were wrong. The fight to be best of the rest is turning out to be just as intense and just as important as the fight for the win itself. So, after all that chaos, a rookie winner, that incredible Ferrari duel, and all the midfield heroics, how has it actually shaken up the battle for the big prize? Let's take a look.
Yeah, this chart pretty much tells the whole story. After just 2 rounds, it is a Mercedes 1-2, but just barely. George Russell is holding the lead after his win in Australia, but his rookie teammate Kimi Antonelli is now just 4 points behind him.
The championship fight is already on a total knife's edge.
Which really leaves us with this final thought. We've got these revolutionary new cars that are clearly super fragile. We've just witnessed the coronation of a new teenage star. And we saw two of the sports legends dueling as teammates in Ferrari Red. So the question is, was this just one chaotic race, or are we watching the dawn of a wild, unpredictable, and frankly, a brilliant new era for Formula One?